Breaking news tonight out of Washington, D.C. The Senate voted and acquitted Donald Trump. The former president was accused of inciting the riots in the American Capitol. A conviction was unlikely, but the Democrats were determined and at the last minute even tried to call in witnesses. Let's bring in Reggie Cecchini, who's been watching the impeachment trial from the beginning. Reggie, this obviously is not a surprise, but you can't say D.C. is lacking political drama.
Yeah, Robin, that's for sure. And even as Donald Trump sits in his Florida resort, he remains an ever-steady presence in Washington. House managers for the last week tried to remind jurors that they themselves were victims of the attack at the U.S. Capitol. But Republicans for the last 4 years have learned the lesson of crossing Trump, which is why so few of them opted to go that route.
Closing on the arguments built during the week.
Senators, this cannot be the beginning. It can't be the new normal. It has to be the end.
House impeachment managers work to convince Republicans that Trump's rhetoric linked to an election lie resulted in the attack on the Capitol.
Donald Trump knew the people he was inciting leading up to January the 6th. He saw the violence they were capable of.
Trump's defense, meanwhile, stuck with arguments about process and that their client was the victim of a never-ending hunt.
The House manager's false narrative is a brazenly dishonest attempt to smear, to cancel constitutional cancel culture, their #1 political opponent.
But as Republicans geared up to hand Trump his second impeachment acquittal, a nearly 3-hour delay almost derailed the proceedings.
We would like the opportunity to subpoena Congresswoman Herrera.
House impeachment managers called a last-minute vote for witnesses.
There's a little confusion here.
Democrats wanted to speak with a Republican lawmaker who had details of a phone call between Donald Trump and the top-ranking Republican in the House, Kevin McCarthy, while the riot was underway.
This is an additional critical piece of corroborating evidence.
After a lengthy delay, Democrats simply read the account into the record, which Trump's lawyers agreed was accurate. But still, the idea of calling any witnesses riled up Republicans, but also revealed the strength of party loyalty.
The reason you're seeing this Hail Mary is everybody knows the outcome of this proceeding.
It's a jarring comment, since senators swear an oath to be impartial jurors. And while the House attempted to sway undecided senators, the defense offered an avenue to Trump loyalists to vote without fear of political fallout.
Reggie, so after all is said and done, was this an exercise in futility?
Well, Robin, it isn't insignificant that 7 Republicans broke rank. It's the most bipartisan impeachment in U.S. history. And despite voting not guilty, Mitch McConnell afterwards laid blame on Donald Trump for the riots, saying that he's liable for everything he did while in office, adding that he didn't get away with anything yet. A hint that even though the political court may have worked in Trump's favor, ongoing criminal investigations could still pose problems for the former president. Robin?
Reggie Cecchini in Washington. Thanks, Reggie.